guys, welcome back to my podcast.
Who's that shirtless bum across the street? Can't do this while watching that.
That's our neighbor. Today I have my brother here with me. Can you explain who you are and what you do?
I was extorted into doing this. I was coerced against my will. There's no way I can fully get through this thing being serious, so I don't even know why I'm here. My name is The Teeks, also known as Tiki Masala, also known as Tikinator 5000.
Your name.
I am a professional musician, an entrepreneur.
When did you know you wanted to pursue music?
Horrible question. Next question. It was before I even knew what anything was. I liked music before anything existed to me. By the time I was old enough to be coherent and like cognitive of the fact that I was good at something, I was already good at music. So it was just natural. Like that was what I was gonna do. It was written in the stars. Inevitable.
Okay.
The chosen one.
When you got in...
It's hot as shit in here, by the way.
I know. You can do it.
I can't breathe.
It's the sunroom. When you dropped out of college, what was your mentality going into music? Were you struggling? Did you think it was going to be hard?
I was fearless, but there was no option in my head. For me, there was no question of what I was going to do. It was just like how I was going to get there. I was enrolled for a full year of school, and I just skipped all the classes. I wasn't going to go. In fact, when I was in New York, I was just fixing phone screens and trying to make money. I was like honestly promoting at nightclubs. I just wanted to be around where music was happening, and that was like the club scene in New York was really cool. So I would go there, I would hear music, I'd be inspired by music, but then I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to make it in music here. I knew I needed to leave New York, so then I came to LA. Mom and Dad weren't impressed with my decision. Larkin was especially unimpressed. And then I just trickled closer and closer to Los Angeles.
What would you tell someone who maybe is fearful to drop out of school or kind of go against what their parents are telling them to pursue their dreams?
Well, first of all, for me, if you have any doubt in your head, fuck off. Do the school. You're not cut out for like the disappointment. There's too much of it. It's so hard. So it's like, for me, if I was at all like questioning if I should be doing what I was doing or not, I don't think any of it would have worked out. You can like something and you could be predisposed to like a certain thing, but if you don't have that thing inside you where you can't live without doing that, and no matter what you were doing, you'd be doing that on the side regardless, like it's just you, it's part of you, I wouldn't take any like big risks. Because when the fuel tank is low and you're getting beat up on and life is like really hard, you have to like have that to like that was like a heavy thing to lean on, where it was just like, you know what,
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
You have to care about it that much. So I guess that's my advice. And then my other advice would be, if you do want it that bad, then be as helpful as possible to everybody around you, because that realistically is why I am where I am now. The thing that I always say is be good in the room. That's like my motto, because I would attribute like maybe 95% of my success to that, and not to like me being a talented musician. I think there's a million talented musicians, but they might not be as personable and helpful and as good of a social engineer as I am. Like when you make yourself helpful to people, they keep bringing you around other things. So like the opportunities come back to you.
Yeah.
I still am at a stage in my career where I do stuff a lot of times where I might be getting stepped on in like a situation, but the bigger picture is like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know?
What did rock bottom look like for you?
Sleeping in a bed in a small apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, 5 guys sleeping in a queen bed next to a 200 and maybe 65 pound 6'2" man. and it was peak COVID. I had a fucking 104-degree fever. Like, I was completely cooked. Like, full fever, no money, sleeping next to a man, like, sweating in the bed, sore.
Oh.
And we're just all cooking in each other's germs. We were just all like microdosing COVID inside an apartment. It was not cool to have COVID yet. We were like, we had the prototype, and everyone was like still like freaking out, like buying toilet paper. It was like, you had a fever, is really fucked up, and like you should really like not like be doing anything. And we were just like so sick. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't smell anything. We knew we had it.
Horrible.
Like, and it was like, I would like
and
go,
no one could do anything.
Yeah, and the bathroom was attached to like the living room and shit. There was like no privacy, and I remember just like being in the bathroom feeling like I was gonna die. I was looking in the mirror.
Didn't you spend a few nights in your car?
Well, the car was before that. I think I stopped sleeping in my car after COVID, or maybe I did a few more times, but the car was never really rock bottom. I remember a few nights crying myself to sleep because I was scared of like people coming up to me when I was parked. But like that was more just
That's
me.
sad.
I know, but that was more just me being like I always kind of had a place to stay. My friend Sam, shout out Sam, like I slept on his couch. I always kind of had like friends and stuff like that, but there were a couple nights where like I would be out late trying to like be part of like a session or something like that, and then they would fall asleep and I would have nowhere to go. Like I couldn't get into the building or anything like that. And that happened actually quite a lot.
Horrible.
There was probably at least like 20 to 45 nights where I just slept in my fucking Ford Fusion 2016. That was, and then I totaled it. Yeah.
That's horrible.
But the rock bottom was definitely, like, I remember feeling rock bottom. I remember like being in the apartment with the men and the COVID. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with 4 sisters, so I don't like being around men. They're gross. And I was sleeping in bed. I was sharing a bed with a large man. Shout out Danny, the Go. He's doing really well now too. He's a phenomenal DJ. But like I remember being like, this is the worst.
Were there people who doubted you, and did it affect your mental state at the time you were pursuing music? Like, did it mess with you?
I think it's like a super egotistical thing to think that people are doubting you per se. I'm sure a ton of people like made fun of me, or was just like, I mean, you guys included. You guys would call me a bum when I came home. Like,
I didn't. I didn't call you a bum.
You would for sure call me. You would just whatever would dance on my last trigger. You would be like,
you would do that to me, and it's all I could come up with.
Whatever. Larkin started it. It trickled down to you guys. I mean, like, I'm sure.
Like 14.
So many people. The way that I came up with TikTok and everything, like, it wasn't the coolest thing I've ever done. It wasn't like proud of what I was doing,
but it was
really,
smart.
but it worked, and it got me to where I am today. I wouldn't go and say like, oh yeah, all my haters, all my doubters, like all these people doubted me. I would just say that there were people who said stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are a ton of people, especially from your hometown, right? Because everyone from your hometown, especially our hometown, it's like a super judgmental place. And like we went to the private high school, and kids were just foul there, and it's like everybody I knew people would talk behind my back about, not even behind my back, I didn't even talk to these people, but I knew people would like talk, and like I would see sometimes they would comment stuff on like my TikToks, like, this is so cringe or whatever. Like, I don't know, like I'm sure a bunch of people thought that I would be an idiot. I felt embarrassed sometimes, and I felt like I was in a place where it fucking better work out. I don't
think anybody questioned your talent though, because I feel like everyone knew.
Well, yeah, because I played piano for everybody every chance I got in high school. But and I'm one of the most cockiest people I've ever met. So I think that no one was really surprised by me being talented. I kind of shoved it in everyone's face. But the real me in my head, I don't think I'm like nearly as talented as the next person. Like, I think I'm honestly mediocre, but I think where I really excel is selling myself, like selling my ability. Like, why work on a song with me over another person, or why give me this opportunity over another person. I think I'm just good at making people, if nothing else, they just like me. They like hanging out with me. So it's like, you know, they'd rather work with me because I'll make them laugh on the way. But yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say that, you know, people were doubting me and stuff like that. I think it's all,
when you were
everyone
younger,
has insecurities.
When you were younger, did you view success differently than you view it now?
I think when I was young, I just thought like success meant being famous. And then in high school, I went through a period where I was like, okay, that's a joke, and I kind of need to be like a biomedical engineer or something. Like our school is very like good at pushing you into thinking that you should be, you know, something like that. So then I kind of changed what I thought success looked like in high school. And then as soon as I went to New York and I saw there was a hierarchy of groups and people, then I was like, okay, yeah, it is being famous, or at least rich, you know? Now success to me is just how much influence the stuff I do has on people around me. When people, you know, are inspired by what I'm doing, or like maybe even copy it. I had an experience recently when I did that song with Odd Mob and Lizzie Land. Everybody, you know, reached out to my team like, we want a song like that. I was doing a session with an artist, and I asked them if they had any references for the kind of sound they were going for, and they sent my song as a reference, and I was like, oh, perfect. I think I would be able to nail that. I made it. And they were like, oh, no way. Like, they were like freaking out. So that's a good metric of success. And I think the other one for me is just like being able to do what you love and take care of everyone that you love, and you don't have to do stuff that you don't want. You always have to do stuff you don't want to do. That's just part of being a human. But
being in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, you never want to get to a place where you're not doing anything you don't want to do, because that just makes you a shallow, horrible person. But not to speak in hyperbole, but I think that, yeah, success for me is like, I want to be influential. I want to, you know, move the needle forward with what I'm doing. I want like the stuff I'm doing to have an impact. It doesn't have to be globally, but even if it's just in my industry, or even just in like my friend group.
Yeah. What type of mindset do you think someone needs to have going into the industry and perhaps moving into Hollywood?
I think everywhere is just what you make it. People say horrible stuff about LA all the time, and they're right. People say really good stuff about LA all the time, and they're right. For me, I have manufactured the people that I want in my life around me, and that's probably the most important thing. I will say, when I hit rock bottom, you know, and I was in that, everyone in that house, we all loved each other. We all took care of each other. If someone was working on a video idea, we'd all help out. You know, if someone was working on a song, we'd all kind of go in there and work on the song together. So, and you learn together, and you fail together, and stuff like that. So it's really about just finding people who they don't have to be interested in a similar thing per se, but it helps when it's at least adjacent to what you do.
All right, we're back. I'm never gonna learn my lesson. That room always overheats, and then my camera overheats. So we're back over here. Thank you. As you were saying, I think being around people who are also proactively going after what they want in life also gives you really good motivation to do it yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to relate to what you're doing at all.
Yeah.
It's just about the people you surround yourself with. And the people that I started everything with, you know, are the people that are still in my life.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, you know, some lucky few find their way out. But
what parts of your journey do you think people might misunderstand the most?
Top 1% of what I actually do, I share with people, and not even then. And I always keep it pretty close to the chest, what I'm doing. Like, I don't necessarily come out and claim ownership of a lot of the stuff that I work on or do. I just like to share stuff the way that I like to share it. I can't even count on my fucking hands how many times I thought, okay, this is gonna be the thing where I don't have to worry about money anymore. Or this is gonna be the thing that really, you know, gives me this opportunity or this look in the industry, and it falls through fucking 12 times out of 10. And then the ones that you don't expect at all are gonna be anything, wind up being like a big song or a big opportunity, or lead to something else. You have to just do a lot of work and a lot of learning. I had to learn so many different things. First was learning social media, and then finally I made it on TikTok. And that was the most backwards way to do it, because by then, you know, I was finally getting reached out by big people to like work on stuff, and I had no idea how to work on it. I didn't know my tools. I didn't know how to, you know, produce. I didn't even know what Ableton was. There's so much developing the skill set and then getting good enough to at least do the bare minimum of like co-production or co-writing.
Do you ever feel pressure now to kind of maintain your success that you have now?
I will say, I've talked about this a lot. This is how I will phrase this. I feel like a lot of people feel similarly. I sometimes find myself missing the person that I was when my back was up against the wall. I find myself missing the feeling of having nothing to lose because I was at rock bottom. That opened up my head to unlimited possibilities. Whatever it was, it didn't really matter. I couldn't get any worse than the situation I was in. So, all right, we're just gonna send it with whatever creative shit that we can think of, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to get a Chipotle burrito tomorrow. It was very like cut and dry. It's like, let's try again tomorrow. I sometimes miss like the headspace of that. I miss the creativity of that, because now it's what you're saying right now, is what you're asking. I have this like sense of dread of losing what I've built.
Yeah.
So now it's not as free. I don't necessarily ever think I'll be too comfortable. I'll always want the next thing. That's just who I am. Like, the opportunities that I take, like I have to make sure like what the optics are, or like what it looks like. Is this a good move for me and my brand? Is this like out of my wheelhouse and gonna look weird if I do this? Like before, it was just like an open canvas. It was a blank canvas. Like I could do whatever. Like I'm down to work on this TikTok. I'm down to, you know, be a part of this music video. I'm down to try some acting here. Like there was so like open-ended, and now it's like, okay, like this is kind of like what I'm doing. This is my brand. This is what I know I'm good at. I have a really nice house that I love. I can't just like go out on a whim and start a new project. Like I need to stick with the stuff that is making me money. I can't just like throw it all to shit, you know, become an artist myself. Even though, you know, people push me in that direction all the time. They're like, well, you guys do all the time. They're like, why don't you release your own music and all this stuff? It's like, okay,
well, his music's amazing, to be fair, and I'm sure it would do great the second he put it out.
But the point is like, I don't have that same liberty to just, you know, throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. I like that idea. I'm gonna like work on that on the side and try to build it up into the right situation with the right team and all this stuff. But first and foremost, I'm
about this because this is what I have going for me and this is working.
Luckily for me, I can handle a lot, and I'm doing a lot at once. You know, I got 2 companies that I'm really involved in, and then I have my production career. It's so easy as a producer. It's like, oh yeah, I can just make this and get paid for it, and then it's someone else's fucking bullshit. They can, you know, take on the whole bull by the horns. They have to do the marketing and pay for, you know, the songwriters, and pay for clearance on stuff, and pay for ads, and pay for a marketing campaign, and then maybe they have extra money for a clipping campaign. It's like all this shit, and it's like, I don't have to deal with that.
If you kept all of your music, it'd be insane.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm not gonna do that. I feel like I'm so young. I feel like everyone's perspective has shifted. It's like now when you're, you know, in your late 20s, people think it's like old for some reason, but a lot of people don't really even like gain it. Historically, a lot of people haven't gained like the most amount of their success until they were like,
think about Mom. She had a whole entire
40s,
music career before she settled down and had kids at 30. So
yeah, pretty soon, you know, I'm gonna be in a place where I can make more fun decisions and maybe be a little more selfish with the music, and like, not give it to like the first person who wants to pay for it. And I'm gonna do it simultaneously too. I've released some stuff, but it's just like, it's not like my number one focus. My production career is doing awesome right now. You know, I'm working with all the biggest artists in electronic. I'm having a year and I'm moving into different genres and stuff like that. I have a team, a sick team, you know, dedicated to the success of that. So like those things, it's like, yeah, that's at the front of my list. But my artist stuff, you know, that's like, okay, I'm gonna sneak in a couple things here on the side when I can.
Through the goals that you've hit that you thought you never would, What's something that keeps you humble through all of that?
I mean, that's where your friend group comes in, you know? Like, no matter how good I do, like, my friends will just shit on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got, like, my girlfriend shits on me, like, everybody shits on me, you know? That's important. Like, you gotta, like, be able to get bullied by your friends and, like, take it on the chin. Like, that's, like, the most important thing. Like, I can't imagine, like, people who have just a bunch of yes men around you, like, that would just inflate your head so bad, and you would have, like, a very unrealistic version of your life. I have a fucking song with Drake, and people walk in the studio and they're like, what the fuck is a SOCAN award? You know, they shit on my Drake plaque, and I'm like, man, like, he's a Canadian artist, the Canadian plaque, and they're like, that's a lame plaque. Like, they just, like, shit, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, it's a song with Drake. Like, that's, like, the coolest shit ever. You know, we grew up listening to this guy, and they're like, yeah. They're like, what are you, one of 16 writers? And I'm like, dude, fucking, those are my chords, man. It's just like, you know, like, having people around you that, like, aren't gonna ever let you take yourself too seriously is, like, probably the most important thing for that.
I agree. What does faith look like to you throughout your whole entire journey?
I wouldn't call myself the best Christian in the world. None of us are. I've tried to find a church in LA. I've tried. Like, they're a little sketchy, you know? We're, like, teetering on the line of Righteous Gemstones territory a lot of the times.
No.
But I think my belief has always just been, you know, trust God and dedicate the wins and the losses and everything in between, kind of just, like, give that up. When you have somewhere to put all that stuff, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it you feel like you're not alone.
So if you have takes the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah,
and makes
like
you feel
if that stuff's just
grounded.
Like all weighing down on you and you have nowhere to put it, it's very helpful to be able to just be like, you know, I'm giving this to God and I just want this to work out so bad. So, you know, I know it might not be in the way that I want it to work, but hopefully, you know, we'll get there. And if not, hopefully I'm in the place that, you know, God wants me to be. I can't say that someone who's like super knowledgeable about how faith looks in music. You just try to like stay out of bad territories, you know, you try to like not surround yourself with like evil people or people with bad intentions, and you know, you try to surround yourself with people who, even if they don't, you know, believe in Jesus and God in the way you do, that are like, you know, somewhat spiritual and have a good conscience and stuff like that.
Throughout my experience, even though I'm Christian and I truly believe that's the way, the truth, and the life, I've met other people who claim they believe in the same things as I do, yet have very evil intentions.
I can't just go on here and, you know, say that I'm like someone who, you know, stays in the faith or doesn't do anything, but like I'm a fuck up, obviously, you know.
Well,
but you just have to like
admitting that and staying humble is one of the things that teaches.
I just try to say sorry and thank you as much as possible. Like, I try not to ask for too much. Like, I try to be like, you know, I kind of try to keep that stuff to myself. You know, I'm always like, you know, I really want this, but I haven't been very good, so I'm not gonna ask for it.
That's not how it works.
I know. This is just me. I'm giving you the honest, you know, answer. I'm just like, you know what? I really hope that I get this thing or that it works out for me, but I'm really sorry for all the bad shit that I do, and I'm really thankful for all the good shit and the, you know, lessons that come into my life. And I try to keep it at that. And then, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll ask him, I'm like, yo, this plane is shaking. Please let us land. You know, like, there's a lot of that going on.
I think the best thing, and what I say a lot, is, God, if it's from you, let it be. But if it's not, steer me the opposite way. Because I really don't want anything that's not from him.
That's where I mess up as a Christian. I'm like, feel free to put a single hand on the wheel, but don't steer me. You know, I want to go here. You know, I'm saying, like, this is what I want. You
That's
know,
your human
feel
flesh.
free to input and like give me some hints, but like, I want to make sure we're on the path.
But you're speaking, that doesn't make you a bad Christian. That just makes you just like everybody else. Everyone has their thing. Everyone, no matter what people claim to be, we are all the same in the eyes of God. God loves us equally. He meets us where we're at. He doesn't ask us to be perfect.
I mean, I believe
him.
everything that you're saying to be true. It's just, I'm just telling you how I go about my faith.
I just don't want you to think
It's a pretty relaxed way, and I don't recommend it. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of apologizing to do when I'm, satisfied of where I am.
No,
I'm going to have a lot of like work to be doing on like my faith, and really like, locking in and be like, okay, maybe, I should have done some stuff differently. That's where I'm currently at. It's not the best spot. I got some work to do.
Well, the fact that you have work to do is the first step, so.
It's just those human desires will get you. He's not going to hurt anybody.
I'm not putting that in. I'm not putting that in. Now we'll get into some of the anonymous responses.
This thing's still going?
It's literally,
this thing?
Just hold on. This one doesn't want me to get into detail, but is basically saying that they struggle to stay motivated in their lifestyle.
Fries bag.
Yeah. Don't rely on the feeling of motivation, because I think that's one of the biggest lies that society tells us today, is that you need to be motivated. You need to show up when you're not motivated at all, when you don't feel like doing it. That's what matters the most, because that is what is going to help you grow. If you just rely on that temporary feeling
Disagree. If you're not motivated, you're a bum. Get motivated. What is wrong with you? What do you want to be, a bum? Get motivated.
Well, you sometimes
figure it out. Do some jumping jacks. Clean your fucking room. Start with that. Your room's probably a mess if you're thinking that. If you're thinking that, is your bed made? Fucking lock in. Like, what's good? You like want something. Don't be afraid to want something. Not fucking Wingstop. Like, fucking lock in.
I didn't know cursing was going to be in this podcast, but I guess with this episode it definitely is.
There's no chance I could ever cut cursing out of my scene. There's the Christianity thing again. It's not going to ever.
No one's
I just
perfect.
say sorry for that. That's how I live.
Thank you guys for watching. I will see you not the next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that.